Hi, everybody. Kevin O'Connor here. There was a team that I worked with. I do some work with pharmaceutical teams on the medical side. And I was working with a team that wanted to work with how do we handle conflict with one another. They weren't highly conflictual, but there was enough going on. There was some resentments. And so the boss said, let's do a half-day seminar. So we did a half-day and we pounded out 6 standards that we would always use, we all agreed to use whenever there was conflict. The first one, of course, was when there's a problem or when there's a conflict, go to the person you're having a conflict with. And then we had some others. So later that night, the boss called me and said something in effect. He said, what do you think was going on with Ann today? She seemed kind of not into it. What was going on? And I said, remember rule number 1? He said, oh, do I have to talk to her? He said, you're the consultant. Why don't you do that? I said, you came up with the rules. Number 1 is go to the person you're having a problem with. He called me the next day and he said, good news. Ann had a crushing migraine. It wasn't personal at all. I said, go to the person you're having a conflict with. That's the very first thing to do. It's very interesting. After you do that, write a quick email and say, thank you very much for having this conversation. Nobody does that. Do what nobody else does. Sometimes when you're having a conflict and it's a disciplinary kind of thing, they call them in medical terms, we call it a coffee cup conversation. You're having a coffee with somebody, you bring up what happened in the OR the other day, you discuss it, say, what can we do about this, blah, blah, blah. 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So one attorney recommended that you then send a thank you note to the person. Thank you for meeting with me when we discussed blah, 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 and we agreed to. I really appreciate it. It's a thank you note. It's also a documentation so that if this behavior continues, you have documented that you've talked to the person about it, that you have a plan together, that they've agreed to it. Very interesting. It's not manipulative. It's clear. It helps people say, yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm Kevin O'Connor. I'll see you next time.